Let's turn to Yan Liang. She's chair professor in economics at Willamette University in Oregon, and she joins us from Portland. Yan, welcome to the program. How big of a development or breakthrough, if you will, is this framework agreement on TikTok?
Yeah, good to be with you, SCA. Well, I think this is a constructive step, I would say, as both sides said that they reached some sort of framework about this TikTok deal. As you remember, this is the fourth time I think the TikTok deal has been delayed or extended. And now the newest deadline right now is September the 17th. So, just days ahead. So I think right now both sides reached this sort of framework, and that would earn, I think, some more extension when it comes to a final deal on TikTok. And that probably will be inked by eventually the two leaders meeting, in-person meeting, hopefully, probably at the end of October at the sidelight of APEC meeting. But I think this is a good step. In a way, it helped to de-escalate, I think, some of the tensions that are, again, ratcheting up on both sides when it comes to trade. When the United States put another 23 Chinese companies on the entity list, and when China is having the anti-monopoly probed into NVIDIA, and also anti-dumping sort of investigation in some of these chips.
So a good step, you call it, and China calls it very constructive, the discussions they had with the United States. The U.S. says this deal would mean TikTok, Yan, would fall under U.S. control ownership. There's been a lot of speculation about how all of this would work out and what kind of company would take ownership. What are you hearing? And would Oracle executive chairman Larry Ellison is one of the names we keep hearing. Would that be satisfactory to both sides?
Right. I think it's still too early to tell exactly what this final deal would look like, whether or not it's a transfer of ownership from China's ByteDance to some U.S. buyers, or is it going to be license of some intellectual property rights, including algorithms that the United States desires. And you're also right that not only the fine print of this deal is still unknown, but also the potential buyers. The list runs long, right? Going from Microsoft to Amazon to Elon Musk to you just talk about Larry. So I think it's a very lucrative business, as you just mentioned. 170 million active users, and 62% of the young people aged between 18 to 29 have a TikTok accounts. So the revenues for TikTok is about $33 billion projected for this year, and 1/3 comes from the United States. So it is going to be a very lucrative, profitable deal. So whatever that the U.S. companies come up with, that would be a good deal for the United States. And it's possible that there could be also a consortium of companies that would participate in the deal. But again, I think it's still way too early to tell exactly what China is willing to give.
Now, given TikTok's popularity, if Donald Trump actually manages to pull this off, how much of a political victory or win is this for him, Yan? And let's not forget, it was Donald Trump who initially wanted to ban TikTok, and then he changed his mind when he realized how hugely popular this was among young people here in the United States.
Yes, I think he does have a personal interest in this, right? That his personal account on TikTok actually has 15 million followers, and the White House has just launched an official page, official account last month. So I think it's definitely in the interest of Donald Trump to keep it running, and he is very open about it as well. So I think that gives Chinese some leverage. On the other hand, I think you're right. This is going to earn Donald Trump some political capital, and in a way that would also help to allow him to get some political cover to extend the trade truce, the tariff truce, until some in-person meetings and really iron out some more thorny issues when it comes to these trade negotiations, economic issues, and so national security concerns.
And Yan, I know there's a lot we still don't know, and as the famous saying goes, the devil is in the detail. But based on what we do know, to what extent does this deal strike a balance between U.S. national security concerns and China's interests?
Well, I think that is ultimately, the question, right? That to what extent that this kinds of ownership transfer or licensing change is going to really help to boost the U.S.'s national security. I think, from what we have seen so far, many of the so-called national security is simply a cover for Donald Trump to get some leverage to strike some kind of economic deals. So I think, it remains to be seen what exactly the U.S. is going to settle, whether or not they really wanted to have the majority control or some kind of guardrail or some kind of conditions that will allow them to say, now we're not going to worry too much about data uses or data privacy, our national security concerns. And from China's perspective, again, China does want to, sort of normalize the trade relationships. But again, as the speak person said very clearly, China does not, want to follow this kind of politicization or instrumentalization of trade deals when it comes to cooperations, operations. So I think it remains to be seen, again, what China is willing to give and what the United States is willing to take. But that is also going to be framed in a broader issue when it comes to, trade negotiations and tech bans and also, other sort of concerns, geopolitical concerns.
All right, we'll leave it there. Yan Liang, thank you so much.